Hi all, my name is Harvey Harvey for short, and this is a drawing video to celebrate Coraline. We have just hit the 15-year anniversary since the movie has been in theaters, so we are making some redesigns. I recently reread the original book by Neil Gaiman, so today we are redesigning the characters by their book descriptions only, and we're starting off with Coraline. Alright, so starting with Coraline and the cat, I first kind of had this sketch and wrote down these character descriptions. So Coraline in the book is described many times as little, thin, with her hair over her eyes, and then also with the outfit I decided to do is the black jeans, the gray sweater with the stars on it, and the bright orange boots, because that's the outfit that the other mother left her, that she decided to wear briefly in her second visit to see the other mother. And of course I had to have her hazel eyes, and then I also want to have with the brown pebble with the hole in it that glimmers emerald. So I thought it was those would be fun. And then also for the cat, I have my notes here just showing that it is described as haughty in the book, haughty black cat, some bristling fur, and then their tail curls up in a question mark. So my original sketch that I had there on my paper was that I liked how those kind of came out, but with those original designs, I didn't fully like the legs with everything. It didn't look like jeans. They looked like, I don't know, like Coraline's like wearing like tights. I didn't like how tight that was. The dimensions and the proportions on like the arms and the head, like there's a lot I didn't really like for it. So I just kind of sketched out basically the skeleton of the form of that, and kind of move into this larger sketch that we're kind of working on now. So of course we're working on the cat. The cat I wanted to really work on first and really get the feeling done first for the cat, because I felt it'd be less complicated than working on Coraline's design. So with the cat, I really like how the cat came out. And working on the rest of Coraline here with the dimensions, I think there's a brief moment where I modify the kind of proportions of the body too, because I think they just look a little bit too lanky, a little bit too tall. But yeah, see, shorten Coraline's body dimensions. So I usually do a lot of my sketching and stuff and this stuff at work, actually. So there's just notes I left for myself on my iPad. Just like, later on, make sure to change that. So kind of going on here and fixing the rest of this here. And working on the sketch for kind of the sweater, kind of making sure this looks right. And with those boots, those Wellington boots, did kind of like how those designs came out. And do have that note there for the whiskers on the cat. So I had that note there. I tried doing whiskers and trying to do something, but at the end of the day, when I draw cats, I don't really like drawing whiskers. Something about it just doesn't look quite right on when I draw cats. So I just kind of leave it as is. So going up to Coraline, in my original sketch, the hair is kind of blocky, to be honest. And when I tried to like emulate that, it just looked like I don't know, like Lego hair or like a Cleopatra wig or something. It just didn't look right for Coraline. So rounded out the edges a little bit, but still kind of this shaggy kind of bob hairstyle. And as you can see, kind of sketching on those stars, and now moving on to the inking. Inking is always kind of like boring to describe, but just going in here with that syrup brush with the inking, and kind of that set here. As we can see from the size of Coraline and the cat in relation to the rest of the canvas, they are quite small in comparison, just because Coraline is described as being quite small, and the cat is, going all the way up, basically, at least to her knee, and like, tail all the way up to her waist, because I wanted Coraline to still feel quite small. And I'm just really proud of like how these designs kind of came out. And kind of wrapping up with the inking here, we're just going to do a little bit of details here with the stars. The stars kind of, when I was sketching them, like, well, they all kind of have their own little different designs. They're not really all uniform, correct-looking stars. And now we're just popping in here with the color. So, of course, I just put down the base colors first, and then after that, we're going to go in with the different shades. With the background, I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, so I did do this blue to emulate the look and feel of Coraline in the film going in through the door, where it's the kind of like blue and purple and pink kind of cave that she's crawling through. But then after all this, basically, we are just about done here. So this is the final piece here for Coraline and the cat, and I'm really proud of how this came out. I do like with the boots, because the boots really adds to the color, because this image has a lot of black, gray, and blue. And I feel with those colors, those are nice colors, but they can really dull each other if there's too much. So I do like the hues of the orange, the green in the cat's eyes, and the green of the emerald, or the emerald glow on the pebble. So I'm really proud of how this came out. I really like this design. It's something where a lot of my designs, I usually don't do these kind of like, you know, I don't know, kid kind of designs, but I do prefer this design a bit more than I do with my original sketch, just because the original sketch, the proportions were just way off, and I do really prefer this design overall, and I love how the cat came out. The cat is I just love the design of this cat. But this is the final image for Coraline and the cat, so let's move on to the next one and last one, which is the other mother. Alright, so now we have here the other mother. So on the paper I have my notes of what I took from the description of the book, saying that the other mother is similar to Coraline's other mother, but they have white skin, very pale, thin, and tall. They have very long fingers with these crimson, sharp red nails. They have big black button eyes, pale lips, sharp knife teeth, this wet black hair that twists and twines around their neck and shoulders. And I also wanted to make sure they were holding this black iron key. I did also notate that their blood is black like tar. We don't have that in the image, but I still want to have that just descriptor there. So my sketch here, as we can see, I'm kind of going through just these basic designs. I want to do the face first, but with the body, I wanted to have this crooked and craned over body shaped similarly to a question mark, similar to the cat tail, because I feel when I was reading the book, there's something quite similar between the cat and the other mother. They both have somewhat like magical, mystical powers. So I really want to be there, that similarity with the shape there. So with kind of the design, I'm going in with, I had my initial just very rough sketch layer, and it's kind of going with more refined sketch layer, kind of focusing on the face, because the face, to be honest, looking at this, isn't the most important thing that I'm even seeing here. There's so much going on with this image with the other mother. But I really wanted to focus on the face and really get this right, because I wanted these, you know, just gross kind of like shaping of like the top of the head, these very angular, pointy features towards like they're wanting to be like look like a human to trap, you know, Coraline, but they're not getting things quite right, and it's just very just gross looking. The hair, I didn't really have it twist and twine around the neck because you don't really see the neck with the shape of the body, but I want it to just fall completely flat and just look like this, like just ripped straight from like a bog, just gross hair that's just falling down. So I really wanted to have that. With the hands, I wanted them to feel very like the limbs are very like long and skinny and thin, while these hands are also quite like they're very like pronounced with like the angle of the joints and the black iron key. So I thought those were really fun to do, and kind of in with the shape of the body, which we go into more in detail when I get actually into the inking and in the coloring. But I kind of like this shape where like on the bottom it kind of has this, it almost seems like fabric that's kind of going into the ground, and I kind of like keep that kind of idea. But I also liked in the book, as I, you know, with the movie too, how the actual, you know, Coraline's real parents are trapped inside the snow globe. I wanted to have the other mother, of course, holding the key, like, oh, do you want the key? And then right behind her, she's holding is the snow globe with her parents that are still in there. So I kind of move the sketch over a little bit, and then we get into the elements that are what I feel similar to Coraline's real mother. So with the back, I did put like a little, like some spinal kind of bumps on the back because I thought it looked creepier and grosser. But I added this here with like this bunched up fabric and this torn fabric that's hanging from her body, because in my idea for how Coraline's real mother would look, I feel like she would be wearing a turtleneck or like a cardigan, mainly a turtleneck to be honest. Even though I think in the book it takes place like right before Coraline starts school, so like maybe like September, August, somewhere around there, or depending on, because the book also takes place in the UK, so I don't know exactly what time frame that takes, but I thought this might be something to where she has this kind of bunched up, torn and tattered sweater that is draped over her body. So that was kind of fun. And then we're getting here with the inking. What I do want to point out too is on the bottom, it is very much kind of like this, it's almost not really like Morticia Addams kind of feeling with the fabric on the bottom, like kind of with the tendril ends, but just more look like it's tattered and rotted, and it's just kind of like just withered away over time. So this one kind of going in a lot with the inking here, as you can see, a lot with my shapes of like trying to make the smoothest lines that I can possibly make. But this is really fun in doing all the unique kind of tattered shapes on the bottom, making that look really defined and unique. And I think it looks really cool when it comes into the color later. But then of course we're going in here with the nails. I do really like how I did the nails on both hands. Like on the one holding the key, they look like really sharp defined ones. On the one holding the snow globe, they look like these chunky, gross, just whatever nails. I didn't mean to do that. It just kind of came out that way. And then we kind of have the rest of the tattering of the sweater that she kind of has going on here. But I just love how the designs of all this is coming together. And now we're coming in with the colors. I didn't want to do anything with the blue of that with this, but instead go more with purples. And I have these kind of things instead of these arching of the doorway. This is more like sharp teeth with this blood going in here with the color. What I decided to do was having with the body, which is it's this very like gross, very insanely pale color, but then it kind of moves into this gradient into the black on the very bottom. And I did decide to do a little bit of color on the bottom with like some muddy kind of colors, just this dirtiness. But we are done with this. Is the finished piece. And I am obsessed with how the other mother came out. I think it is just amazing. I love what I was able to do. I think if I could go back, I might do a little bit more of like some darker hues, darker colors in with the skin to really make it feel grosser. But I really am proud of this. I think she came out great. I love how the nails came out. I love how the eyes came out. I love how the face. I love everything with this. The design, it's just so much the patterns, the grunginess. I think it came out great, and I'm just really proud of this. So here is the other mother and Coraline together. So please let me know your thoughts on this. Like, did you really like how these designs came out? Do you think they could have used a little bit of work still, a little bit of help? Just kind of let me know what you guys think. I'm really proud of how this came out, and I can't wait to move on to the next thing. I haven't done actually like a long form video in a long while, so I'm trying to get back into it. I usually just do a lot of the shorts, but I'm really proud of how these two came out. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, share my content. I love other people seeing my stuff and also learning from other people. I love to expand my art community and be able to do that stuff. So please let me know your thoughts, and thanks so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.